Hey, good evening, Lions fans. It's Will with Rocked On Detroit Lions. Another edition of Off the Cuff, episode 19. Looking to get into a little bit more about training camp this evening. Day four. Day four is under wraps, and we're coming in just to give you guys a little bit of an update of everything that we're reading and hearing from around Allen Park. And there's some interesting things that came out today that we didn't hear about yesterday, and that's why we're in. So we'll start with Ben Johnson's press conference this evening. I'm sorry, this morning, and what we had taken away from his press conference. There were some great positives that we were not really anticipating to happen so quickly. But first and foremost, Ben does see a huge difference in the offense going into the second season, not only for the players, but also for himself. And he also had mentioned that Laporta has finally earned his stripes, if you will, to get some first team reps, which is great that we're already seeing, a top tier draft pick from this year's draft be able to get in with Jared Goff so early into the offense in the season. And he also spoke about Sudfeld and how Sudfeld is finally in his first camp with the Detroit Lions into his second season with Ben Johnson in this offense, which, by the way, it's not an easy offense. This is one of the more difficult offenses around the league. Well, Ben is running is definitely not something easy. It's not something that these guys can just grasp really quickly. It takes 2-3 seasons to fully install an offense like this. So they're into year two, and the good news is it's really starting to slow down for Ben as well, which really speaks volumes to what type of season we could be looking forward to when the offensive coordinator has more time to prep and really dial up, for each week the plan for every team that we're going to go up against. Last season, he was burning the wick at both ends, and he spoke about that today in the press conference that there was a lot of tired coaches throughout last season because they had to install so much, and it really took them a little bit more time to get it right. Whereas this year, they've gone through it and they're able to throttle it back a little bit because they understand it more. They've been through it once already, and the second go around is a little bit easier. Speaking specifically about the running back position, he said that Jahmyr Gibbs has primarily been running the running back portion of the scheme. He has not been out wide, into the slot. He's primarily been staying out of the backfield. But he did say over the next week he is going to level up Jahmyr so he can get him ready for the Giants game, which would be exciting to watch Jahmyr get out of the backfield and get some opportunities as a slot wide receiver. Sticking with wide receivers, Antoine Green, 7th rounder from this year's draft, has also earned some stripes, getting some first team reps, which was great to hear. Antoine Green is my dark horse as a late draft round pick this year to make the team, to make the 53-man roster. We could definitely benefit from his height and his size and his speed. He's a 4.4 guy. The one thing that Ben had mentioned is, with Green being a 4.4 guy, he needs to bring that to the table every time he's taking a snap. He can't take a play off. He can't slow down. He really needs to get after it and utilize his size, his body type, and his speed every single play. To conclude the press conference, kind of what I said earlier, Ben feels a lot more comfortable in the offense this season. It's his offense, but he's more efficient and he's able to game plan a little bit easier. Things are a little bit slower, for him, and that's great for the Lions heading into to year two here with Ben. There's another article that came out, so we'll talk about some of these unexpected things that popped up, and we were kind of away from it a little bit today, but a little bit of attendance and injury issues that had popped up. So none of the players that were injured in Monday's practice had come back. So Jameson Williams and C.J. Gardner-Johnson are still day-to-day working with the trainers off to the side, during practice. Obviously, Emmanuel Mosley is still not in. And when he does get to camp, it's not like he's going to play right away. He's still coming off of a major injury. It's going to take a few weeks for him to get acclimated and back to football strength. Obviously, we know Hendon Hooker's not playing this season, so we might as well, just put that one on the back burner. We'll see him sometime next year. But the ones that grabbed our attention today was Halapaludi Vaitai was injured late in Tuesday's practice, and so was defensive back Brian Branch. So not good. I don't really have much more information other than that they were injured. We don't know exactly what the injuries are. But they did stick around, throughout practice, and we're working with the trainers as well. Great news for the Lions defense. They did kind of jump back to the basics today, and they were able to kind of make up for what happened with Amon Ra yesterday, getting 6 touchdowns in the red zone work. They went back to kind of their 4-man front scheme, and another injury happened. So Tom Kennedy and linebacker Jack Campbell collided midair, and of course Tom Kennedy didn't win that battle. He came up some sort of injury to his arm or shoulder. Again, not much information at this time, but that's another injury. I mean, we're not expecting Tom to make the roster, but man, he's a high energy guy, high character guy. We love to see him around the team, and he did make some big plays for us last year when he was called upon. He's the type of guy that's going to give you 150,000% every time he touches the field. That's just who he is. So it sucks to see so many injuries so early in camp, but I can tell you this, I'd rather see the injuries happen now and hope that they're small enough that they can recover pretty quickly than to see them late in the season when the Lions are making a push for the playoffs. But it's good to see the Lions defense bounce back today, and just working on basics, made a lot of good plays, and gave the offense some fits today. So they're going back and forth, and we're going to see that throughout camp, that there's going to be ebbs and flows to this. Some days the offense is going to win. Some days the defense is going to win, and some days there's just going to be a stalemate, and that's exactly what we want to see. If it's all one-sided, then we know we have a problem. But I expect that both sides of the football are going to be in terrific condition come Giants week, and it's going to be a great time around Allen Park to watch those two go head and head. That's really it, for today. I mean, we did see a few other things that came up, like Hutchinson, Charles Harris, Romeo Okwara. They all kicked the offense's butt today. They were getting sacks. They were batting balls. Broderick Martin got his hand on a ball today. Isaiah Buggs got his hand on a ball. Benito Jones got his hand on a ball. So the defense really came to life today, and it's nice to see that they're getting their big paws up and they're knocking the balls down. We didn't see a whole lot of that last season, and it seems like it's always been one thing that is missed from the Lions defense is getting their hands around the ball. Other than some interceptions last season, we didn't have a lot of batted balls. So it's great to see. But that's really all we had for tonight. I apologize, being so late this evening, but we promised we'd give you an update daily, and that's what we're going to do. Please give us a like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel at rockdownpodcastnetwork.com is where you can also find us online. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, and we'll definitely see y'all out there on Saturday. So that's it for tonight. Thanks for joining in, guys. Have a good night.